वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 11, the childhood pastimes of Krishna. Text 45 onwards. तो वत्स पालको भूत्वा सर्वलोकैक पालको सप्रात राशो गोवत्सांश्चार्यन्तो विचेरतो. After the killing of the demon, so first they killed this Vatsasura. Krishna and Balram finished their breakfast in the morning. So this was even before the breakfast they killed. And while continuing to take care of the calves, they wandered here and there. Krishna and Balram, the supreme personalities of God, had to maintain the entire creation, now took charge of the calves as if cowherd boys. So far they are taking charge of the calves only, not cows. Krishna's daily business here in the material world was to kill the Dushkritis. This did not hamper his daily affairs, for it was routine work. While he tended the calves on the bank of the river Yamuna, 2 or 3 incidents took place every day. See, this Prabhupada is saying. And although these were serious, killing the demons one after another appeared to be his daily routine work. And Krishna Balram would kill 2 or 3 demons every day before lunch. Not even after lunch, before lunch. Why? So that all these boys, they would get all excited during having lunch, and they would talk about how Krishna did this and how Balram did this and how this boy did that, because the boys were also helping Krishna Balram in killing the demons, because boys would help whatever to their capacity, but they would all get excited, and the boys, when they get excited, they really relish their lunch, they enjoy the lunch. This was every day. Krishna Balram, they were doing that. Swam samvatsa kulam sarve payeshyant ekada gatva jalashaya bhyasham payitva papura jalam. One day, all the boys, including Krishna and Balram, each boy taking his own group of calves, brought the calves in a reservoir of water, desiring to allow them to drink. After the animals drank water, the boys drank water there also. Te tatra dadru shurbala mahasattam avastitam tatra sur vajra nirbhinnam gire shrangam iv chutam. Right by the reservoir, the boys saw a gigantic body resembling a mountain peak broken and struck down by a thunderbolt. They were afraid even to see such a huge living being. Savai bako nam mahan asuro bak rupdrik agatya sahasa krishnam tikshna tundo agrasad bali. That great bodied demon was Bakasur. He had assumed the body of a heron with a very sharp beak. Having come there, he immediately swallowed Krishna. So he did not bother to kill the boys. He immediately swallowed Krishna. Krishnam mahabhakgrastam drishta rama dayorvaka babhuvo rindriyaniva vina pranam vichetasa. When Balram and the other boys saw that Krishna had been devoured by the great, gigantic heron, they became almost unconscious, like senses without life. Look at this boy on my left. He is lying down. Oh, what's going to happen here? Although Balram can do everything because of intense affection for his brother, he was momentarily bewildered. A similar thing is stated to have happened in connection with Rukmini, the kidnapping of Rukmini. When Krishna, after kidnapping Rukmini, was attacked by all the kings, Rukmini was momentarily bewildered until the Lord took the proper steps. So here, Bakasur swallowed Krishna. Tam talu moolam pradahantam agnivat gopala sonum pitram jagadguru chachard sadyo ati rushakshantam bakas tundena hantum punar abhyapadyat. Krishna, who was the father of Lord Brahma, but who was acting as a son of a cowherd man, became like fire, burning the root of the demon's throat. And the demon Bakasura immediately discoursed him. When the demon saw that Krishna, although having been swallowed, was unharmed, he immediately attacked Krishna again and again with his sharp beak. Although Krishna is always as soft as a lotus, within the throat of Bakasura, he created a burning sensation of being hotter than fire. Although Krishna's whole body is sweeter than sugar candy, Bakasura tasted bitterness and therefore immediately vomited Krishna. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, ye yatha mam prapadyante. When Krishna is accepted as an enemy, he becomes the most intolerable object for the non-devotee who cannot tolerate Krishna within or without. Here, this is shown by the example of Bakasura. So, although Krishna is sweeter than the sweetest, but for a devotee. For demons, they think he is the enemy, so Krishna becomes the most intolerable object. Tama patantam sanigriya tundayor dorbhyam bakam kansasakam satam patihi pashyatsu baleshu dadar lileya mudavaho virana vadvi vokasam. When Krishna, the leader of the Vaishnavas, saw that the demon Bakasur, the friend of Kamsa, was endeavoring to attack him, with his arms he captured the demon by the two halves of the beak. And in the presence of all the cowherd boys, Krishna very easily bifurcated him, as a child splits a blade of Viran grass. By thus killing the demon, Krishna very much pleased the denizens of heaven. So he just captured the two parts or two halves of the beak and just split him open. See, he did not use any weapons, just his hands. Tada bakarim surulok vasina samakiranandam mallikadibhi samidire chanak shankha sanstavasa tadviksha gopala sutta visismire. At that time, the celestial denizens of the higher planetary system showered Mallika Pushpa, flowers grown in Nandan Kanan upon Krishna, the enemy of Bakasura. They also congratulated him by sounding celestial kettle drums and conches and by offering prayers. Seeing this, the cowherd boys were struck with wonder. So the cowherd boys were seeing where the flowers are coming from up above. And the demigods were showering flowers because this Bakasura was such a great demon, even the demigods could not kill him. But Krishna effortlessly just picked up the two halves of the beaks and pushed and just split him open. Muktam Bakasyad uplabhya balaka ramadaya pranamibendriyo ganaha sthana gatam tam parirabhya nirvrita praniya vatsana brajametya tajjaguhu. Just as the senses are pacified when consciousness and life return, so when Krishna was freed from this danger, all the boys, including Balaram, thought that their life had been restored. They embraced Krishna in good consciousness, and then they collected their own calves and returned to Brajabhumi, where they declared the incident loudly. So it was a practice of the inhabitants of Brajabhumi to compose poetry about the incidents that occurred in the forest when Krishna performed his different activities of killing the asuras. They would compose all the stories in poetry or have this done by professional poets. And then they would sing about these incidents. Thus it is written here that the boys sang very loudly. Not just they sang loudly, they just declared to their parents, to everybody in the Vraj, how Krishna killed this demon and how Krishna killed that demon. And today he killed Bakasura, and Bakasura was so big. And first they would describe how big he was and how Krishna went inside and he just split him open. Shrutva tad vismita gopa, gopyaschati priyadritaha, pretyagatam ivot sukyad, ekshant trishitekshana. When the cowherd men and women heard about the killing of Bakasur in the forest, they were very much astonished. Upon seeing Krishna and hearing the story, they received Krishna very eagerly, thinking that Krishna and the other boys had returned from the mouth of death. Thus they looked upon Krishna and the boys with silent eyes, not wanting to turn their eyes aside now that the boys were safe. See, because of intense love for Krishna, the cowherd men and women simply remained silent, thinking of how Krishna and the boys had been saved. The cowherd men and women looked upon Krishna and the boys and did not desire to turn their eyes aside. And this is Vrindavan, Braj. What? The boys were not envious of Krishna. If in our group, friendly circle, if somebody secures, say, 99.9% marks and some other boy secures only 80% marks, then they would be very envious of the other boy. Oh, how come he secured that much? And what will happen to me? And here the boys, they all loved Krishna. Their parents loved Krishna. And Krishna is performing so many miraculous pastimes. They were not envious. They were not telling the boys, hey, see, Krishna can do this. You cannot even do this. There, nothing. This is Braj. And that's why we are in the material world, because we are envious of Krishna, envious of each other. We have this tendency. Envious of devotees, envious of non-devotees. We have this. So this is what we have to remove. Remove it from our heart. And then we will be, and then when we develop love for Krishna, we'll be eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. Aho batase balasya bahavo mrityevo abhavan apyasid vipriyam tesham kritam purvam yato bhayam. The cowherd men headed by Nanda Maharaj began to contemplate. It's very astonishing that although this boy Krishna has many times faced many varied causes of death, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it was these causes of fear that were killed instead of him. The cowherd men innocently thought, because our Krishna is innocent, the causes of death that appeared before him were themselves killed instead of Krishna. This is the greatest grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they were just very innocent. Krishna is being protected always. They just didn't know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Athapya bhi bhavanti enam nevate ghora darshana jighansayanam asadya nashyanti agno patangavat. Although the causes of death, the deaths were very fierce, they could not kill this boy Krishna. Rather, because they came to kill innocent boys, as soon as they approached, they themselves were killed, exactly like flies attacking the fire. Nanda Maharaj innocently thought, perhaps this boy Krishna formerly killed all these demons, and therefore in this life they were envious and are attacking him. But Krishna is a fire, and there are flies, and in a fight between fire and flies, the fire is always victorious. Fighting is always taking place between the demons and the power of the Supreme Personality. Paritrana sadhuna. Anyone who is against the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead must be killed, life after life. Ordinary living beings are subject to karma, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always victorious over the demons. So, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so he's always victorious, but even if Gopas were thinking the Supreme Lord is protecting Krishna, so Supreme Lord is always victorious. Aho Brahma Vidam Vacho na Satya Santi Karhichit Gargo Yadaha Bhagavan Anva Bhavi Tathav Tat. The words of persons in full knowledge of Brahman never become untrue. It's very wonderful that whatever Garga Muni predicted, we are now actually experiencing in all detail. The purpose of human life is indicated in Brahma Sutra, Thatu Brahma Jigyasa. To make one's life perfect in the past, present, and future, one must learn about Brahman. Because of intense affection, Nand Maharaj could not understand Krishna as he is. Garg Muni was able to know everything, past, present, and future, by studying the Vedas. But Nanda Maharaj could not understand Krishna directly. Because of his intense love for Krishna, he forgot who Krishna was and could not understand Krishna's potency. Although Krishna is Narayan himself, Garg Muni did not disclose this. Thus Nanda Maharaj appreciated the words of Garg Muni, because of his deep affection, he could not understand who Krishna was. Although Garg Muni had said that Krishna's qualities would be exactly like those of Narayan. He just didn't say Krishna himself is Narayan, but this was good enough hint, but Nanda Maharaj still did not understand directly. But he was appreciating what words Garg Muni said about Krishna, and it's all coming true, but still they would not believe Krishna is God. And of course, if they had believed, then there won't be the same intensity of love between Nanda Maharaj and Krishna, father and son. Iti Nanda Dayo Gopa Krishna Ram Katham Muta Kurvanto Ramamanascha Na Vindan Bhavavedanam. In this way, all the cowherd men headed by Nanda Maharaj enjoyed topics about the pastimes of Krishna and Balram with great transcendental pleasure, and they could not even perceive material tribulations. Here is an instruction about the result of studying or discussing the Krishna Leelas that appear in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sadhyo Hridi Avarudhyate. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda and Vrindavan appeared like ordinary persons of this material world, but never felt the tribulations of this world. Although they sometimes met many dangerous situations created by the demons. This is a practical example. If we follow in the steps of Nanda Maharaj and the Gopas, we can all be happy simply by discussing the activities of Krishna. So maybe we can say, oh, they were Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. So whenever they are experiencing, or when they are seeing Krishna face to face, so obviously they're not experiencing any material tribulations, but we do because we are not at that level of our surrender, of our devotion, of our love for Krishna. But if we do come to that level, material problems will always be there, but we'll not feel any problems, any difficulties. Always be in blissful mode. Vyasadeva has given this literature so that everyone may understand one's transcendental position simply by discussing Bhagavad Gita. Even at the present moment, everyone everywhere can be happy and free from material tribulations by following Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no need of austerities and penances, which in this age are very difficult to perform. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has therefore declared, Sarvatma Sanapanam Param Vijayata Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. By our Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam so that anyone in any part of the world can be absorbed in the Krishna consciousness movement by chanting and hearing about the activities of Krishna and be free from all material tribulations. So by chanting the names of Krishna, by chanting and hearing about the activities, pastimes of Krishna, this is all we want. But this is what we don't do. That's a problem. Evam vihara komaram jahatur vraje nilayana setu bandhera markato tuplavanadvihi. In this way, Krishna and Balram passed their childhood age in Vrajbhumi by engaging in activities of childish play, such as playing hide and seek, constructing a make-believe bridge on the ocean, and jumping here and there like monkeys. Constructing a make-believe bridge on the ocean. So in Kamavan, when we went to Kamavan once, there is a little stream. It's not very wide. But so this pastime happened much later, of course, when Krishna playing with his cowherd boys, friends, he must have played the same pastime. So there's a little stream, and Krishna's friends, they were boasting, oh, Krishna is Ram, and Krishna came as Ram, and the gopis were there. So not all the cowherd boy friends are there when Krishna and gopis are around. So there's a different category of friends who are there with Krishna. So gopis said, okay, so you came as Ram? We don't believe it. Krishna said, obviously I came as Ram. What do you mean you don't believe it? Gopi said, okay, so see all these monkeys around me? They all helped me when I came as Ram. Gopi said, see the monkeys around you because you are also like a monkey. You're jumping here and there. Krishna said, why don't you believe? They said, okay, you came as Ram. Ram built such a big bridge on the ocean. Can you build a bridge around this stream, across this stream? Krishna, what's the big deal? Yes, I can. So he just engaged all his monkeys and everybody. They built a beautiful bridge across that stream by just putting together rocks. So then the gopis would not still believe it, but okay, these monkeys must have helped you now, but you were not wrong. So there's every day all these pastimes are going on. No schools in Vrindavan. He did not go to school in Vrindavan. So no Gurukul, no school, nothing, no studies. Just every day jumping, killing demons, enjoying the forest life, taking care of cows and the calves. That's Vrindavan life. So from Bhaktivinoda Thakur Shikshamrita, Bakasur. Bakasur represents cunning, duplicity, deceptive behavior, and hypocrisy, the outward manifestations of a false lifestyle of cheating activities. So Bakasur, a heron or a bagula, it's called bagula, right? So what does he do? He just stands in the middle of a river or a lake. On one leg, actually, he stands. And fishes, they get very comfortable because they think that he's a great sadhu and doing tapasya. So earlier, if the fishes were afraid of him, they would be away from him. But when they see Bakasur just standing on one leg and close his eyes, so they would get comfortable and they would start coming near him. And what these herons or they do, bagula do, they just open the eyes little bit, see some fish, and just boop, attack one fish, eat it with their beaks. Their beaks are very long. And they again stand like that, letting others think that they are in samadhi. And this is how they eat fishes. And fish, they just don't believe, they just don't get scared of them because they think he hasn't eaten them. So he is pretty good, bagula. So this is cunning, duplicity, deceptive behavior, and hypocrisy. Cheating, false lifestyle of cheating activities. And it's within us also. We try to show to the world, oh, I am such a nice devotee, I'm such a nice, great, advanced person, spiritually advanced, I won't cheat you and I won't take advantage of you. And when innocent people come, then we cheat them. I'm not saying we cheat them financially, but whichever way, there is some cheating tendency in us. Instead of developing this mood of serving everybody, we try to take advantage. We try to make them serve us. That's again deceptive, cheating behavior. We are not. We are nobody. We're not guru like Srila Prabhupada. No way. All we have to do, okay, I'm very, very, very fallen person. And all I'm trying to do is help you, serve you, so I can make progress. Instead of advertising that I'm such a great big devotee, I've been in an ISKCON and I've been chanting for the last 20 some years. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. So by reading this, just few verses of Krishna killing Bakasura, so all these tendencies, slowly, they go away. And who was this Bakasura? According to Brahm Vaivarta Puran, in his last life, he was Suhotra, a Gandharva disciple of Durvasa Muni, along with his two brothers who later became Pralambasura and Keshi. Wow, what a family. He performed austerities as Pushkar Tirtha. Once the three of them were picking lotuses at the celestial lake, Chitra Sarovar, for offering to Lord Krishna when they were arrested by servants of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva received them very nicely, but told them he had promised Parvati that he would curse anyone who took lotuses from that lake, as she had vowed to offer 1,000 lotuses a day to Lord Krishna for 100 days. And there were exactly 100,000 lotuses there, some of which they had now picked. So they had to appear as these demons, but they were then killed by Krishna and liberated. So his two brothers, Pralambasura and Keshi, they'll come later and they'll create their own pastimes with Krishna. So thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of 10th canto, 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Childhood Pastimes of Krishna. So tomorrow we'll start the 12th chapter. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments? Okay, so you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.